Have you dreamed of bigger things for your life? Then you are in the right place. Each week, you will be given tips on how to change your inner dialogue, conquer your goals, and ways to step into a higher version of yourself. I'm your host, Lauren Kubat. I'm a motivational speaker who hosts personal development events. I'm a sought-after fitness instructor, a wife, and a mom of 2 young boys. I'm obsessed with all things personal development, and I believe anyone can achieve the life they want. Let the Become Your Vision podcast be the inspiration you need to step into greater things. Now let's go. Hello there. This is the Become Your Vision podcast, and I am your host, Lauren Kubat. So I need to give you a little insight on my recording situation right now. So I'm recording this on the Friday before Christmas, and I can't even believe that it is here. Like, we know that Christmas is coming every single year. We know the date, and yet it seems like it just hops out of nowhere. I don't even know how that happens. And I'm actually recording this podcast in my podcast room, and it is stacked with presents from Amazon. It's like I have piles and piles everywhere, and I literally had to move the boxes out of the way to record, but you know, that just adds extra soundproof, I guess. But anyway, today we are talking about strength training, why you need to do it, and I am going to debunk the myth that lifting weights or strength training will make you bulky. Okay, we're going to get that out of your head. But before I get into it, I'm going to share the review of the week. This one comes from Allison_T, my girl, Allie. And this is titled So Relatable. And she says, it never fails that when I come to listen to a new episode that Lauren has somehow crawled through my brain and picked out things that I really needed to work through. There is so much variety in her topics, and it keeps me coming back and wanting to hear more. And she goes on to share more amazing things. And thank you. Thank you so much. And I will send you a gift card to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so we are going to get into the show. So when people tell me that they only do cardio because they are afraid of getting bulky, I want to shake them because I have been there. I wish I knew what I know now back when I was first starting, okay? I had those same thoughts, and I will explain at the end of the episode why you won't get bulky just by strength training. So in the past, I coined myself the cardio queen, and cardio exercises was something I really enjoyed doing and knew how to do them. And cardio is that like low-hanging fruit and a great way to start your fitness journey. And in the beginning of my fitness journey, I was intimidated by all the equipment at the gym, the gym in general, actually. I would step into the gym and get instant anxiety just from the smell of the gym. But I knew how to run outside. I knew how to work the treadmill or the elliptical, press that one button and then increase or decrease the speed. So cardio was something that was easy for me to do and get started with my fitness journey. And I want to say that cardio, also known as cardiovascular exercises or even aerobic exercises, have their benefits, okay? And if we want to get technical, cardio refers to your heart. It means heart in Greece, either one. And it is the umbrella term basically for when your heart is pumping, when your heart is elevated. So some examples of cardio exercises include, you think of cycling and swimming, dancing, walking, using the elliptical or the rowing machine. Those are exercises we immediately think about. So you're doing a repetitive movement for, an extended period of time, and your heart rate is elevated for a longer period of time than your typical strength training exercises. And I will explain exactly what cardio exercises are, the benefits, and the benefits of strength training and what exactly strength training is. So some of the benefits to cardio exercises include it helps with weight loss. It reduces the risk of heart attack. It can lower your cholesterol, your high blood pressure, help maintain or keep your diabetic, your levels even keel, essentially. And it helps with some forms of cancer. Cardiovascular exercises also helps with reducing stress. Oh my gosh, I highly believe in that because sometimes when I go to the gym and let's say I go on the Stairmaster or something like that, I feel so much better when I get off of that machine, or if I go for a run or whatever that cardio exercise is that you choose, you do feel better afterwards. And another benefit among other benefits of cardio exercises is it will help you with your sleep and the quality of your sleep. So now strength training exercises, also known as weight training or resistance training, is meant to do just that. And it's meant to build strength, and you are increasing your muscle mass by using some sort of resistance like dumbbells or machines or bars, resistance bands, or even body weight, which in my opinion, body weight exercises are very underrated, but they're great for starting off in strength training. And I actually recommend, if you're a beginner at strength training, I suggest using body weight exercises or very lightweight to transition into your strength training regimen. And there are several hundreds of, maybe even thousands, different types of strength training exercises. But we generally think of, squats and lunges and push-ups and bicep curls. And just like cardio exercises, strength training exercises have many benefits. And some of those benefits include stronger bones, joint flexibility, weight control, balance, and increased muscle mass, which is very important because as we age, muscle mass decreases naturally, but strength training can help with that. And I know sometimes when we're younger, we don't think that we will ever age, right? But we have to plan for the future. And can you think of like an elderly person who is like super frail, and you're afraid that if they even like fall, that they're going to crack into a million pieces, right? And it's because they don't have a lot of muscle mass and they are prone to injuries, and their recovery time is much slower than someone who is stronger. And even when you're younger, you are going to recover much faster if you are strong and have more muscle mass than somebody who doesn't have as much. And I will give you a little backstory on my fitness journey. So I started exercising solely based on the fact that I wanted to lose weight because I wanted to feel good in my clothes. I wanted to feel good in a bathing suit. And I talk all about my fitness journey and why I started in episode 4, if you want to listen to that one after this one. But like I said, I was a cardio queen. And at one point, I ran a marathon. This was like a few years into my fitness journey, and I was putting tons of miles in, but I wasn't seeing the results I wanted to see. And there were a couple of reasons. Number one was my nutrition, and I share all about that. I don't know what episode number that is, but you can go back to that one and listen to that one as well. And then Two, why I wasn't seeing results was because I wasn't strength training as much as possible, or much as I should say. And I will be straight up with you guys. I initially started weight training for vanity reasons, much like other people start exercising, and it's because they want to look good, they want to lose weight. And I was already exercising, but I wasn't getting that toned body that I want. And for me, I really think that muscles are beautiful, and strong toned arms and legs are just really appealing. And that's just me personally. But now over time though, I have realized exercising is just not all about the physical part. It has actually become my therapy. And exercise is what got me through my brother's suicide and my miscarriage. And I don't want to get all dark here, but it was my crutch and something I relied deeply on to get through those very dark times. Okay, so back to strength training. I'm sure that you've heard before that muscle burns more than fat. And you've heard that story of a wife and a husband. They're starting a fitness program together, but the woman gets so frustrated when her husband is losing more weight than her, even though they're doing the exact same thing. And maybe that story applies to you, and you get super frustrated. And that's because naturally men do have more muscle mass than women. And generally, when you have more muscle mass, you have a faster metabolism and you're able to burn more calories. And who doesn't want to burn more calories at a resting heart rate, or resting, what am I looking for? At a resting state, I should say. And that just means too that you can eat more. And it's like, oh, well, why is my husband, why is my partner, losing so much weight and firing up their metabolism when I am doing the exact same thing? Okay. And so if you want to have a more efficient metabolism, you really need to start weight training. That's one of the things. Okay. And when I started exercising and trying to build more muscle, I knew that I had to get a little bit more serious about my training. And if you're a novice to weight training, I will share some tips with you that have really helped me. So first of all, I started taking classes that included strength training, okay? On your gym's website, they usually have like the description of the class, or you can ask the front desk if you're unsure, but look for classes that will build strength. Now I know because of the year of COVID, you may not have access to the gym, but you can strength train at home. And actually, I've put together 6 weeks of workouts that you can do at home or at the gym if yours is open. And the workouts that I put together will help you stay fit no matter where you are at. And you'll get a total of 18 workouts, which breaks down to 3 plans a week, which is a total of $45. And for many of you, that is cheaper than a gym membership. And the best part is that you will always have access to the workouts because I send them as a document in an email, and you can print them off or you can read them on your phone. And with the workouts, you also receive pictures so that you know what each exercise is. And I know some of you didn't work down when all the gyms shut down because you didn't know what you were doing. And these plans will help guide you. So if this sounds like it interests you or something for you, I will leave more information in the show notes. So like I said earlier, strength training can be very lightweight or no weight at all. And I always tell my clients quality over quantity. And what I mean by that is quality form is way more important than how heavy the weight is, the dumbbell or the resistance band or whatever you're using, okay? And if your form is off, a number of things can happen. One, you can end up hurting yourself, and which will set your fitness journey back, because then you're working on healing and you'll be out of the gym and out of exercising and so on and so forth, and you're gonna get more frustrated. And number two is you might not see the results you want because you aren't doing the exercises correctly. So it honestly pays to have an instructor or personal trainer who will help check your form for you. And once you feel like the exercise is becoming no longer a challenge, that's when you decide that you're going to increase the weight, okay? Or maybe increase the number of reps. And I want to go over some questions that I often get as an instructor in hopes that it will help you. So I get this question a lot. How many days a week should I be weight training? And that depends on your goal and what you have time for. So let's say you are new to exercise. I'd recommend something that you can stay consistent with first and foremost, okay? If it's not something that you enjoy, you will end up most likely just like quitting, okay? Or if you're doing too much of something, most likely you're going to burn out and end up quitting, okay? So start with something you enjoy and then work on stepping out of your comfort zone and trying different types of workouts. So there are plenty of classes or workouts that I've taken that I didn't know I would like and then end up loving them. So pick something that you like and then work with your own schedule. How many classes or how many different types of workouts is realistic for you? I think 3 is the minimum, where 3 days a week is the minimum of when you're really going to start to see results, okay? And be consistent with, if I'm being honest. And the workouts that combine both cardio and weight training, the better, because they both have benefits, especially if you are short on time or working out 3 to 4 days a week. You want to get more bang for your buck. So if like your schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, okay, you have a rest day in between, your workouts. So you can be working total body, the days that you're working out, okay? Another question I get is, how heavy should I be lifting? Again, that goes back to quality, not quantity. So you can get a really good workout with only body weight exercises. And for example, after I had my boys and I got that okay from the doctor to work out, I eased back into a routine with body weight exercises. So I would do a certain number of squats and lunges with no added weight other than my body. And I would really focus on my form. So let's say I would do 12 body weight squats. Okay, so there's different types of squatting, but let's say if I was doing a sumo squat where I point my toes to the corner, okay, I would make sure that I am putting my weight in my heels, digging down low, seeing how far I can get my squat, and still keep my form, slowly coming back up, leaving my chest open by rolling my shoulders back, squeezing my shoulder blades, keeping my head up, and really focus on the form. So I would do 12 reps, and then I would do 3 sets total. So I would have a little break in between each set. And then again, I would focus on my lunges. I would do 12 reps. So that's 1 set on my left side, okay? And then I would go to my right, and then I would repeat that 2 more times, okay? 2 more sets. And I would get super sore because I hadn't worked out in weeks. And when you're beginning, you don't need a whole lot to get sore and to get a good workout. And slowly you can start to add dumbbells, 5 pounds, and work your way up. And you will know when you need to increase your weight. And it's actually really cool when I teach my classes. There are people in my classes that once they have their form down, they are increasing their weight. And this particular gym that I'm at, we've been together since the very beginning, so a year and a half now. And at our gym, our weights are different colors, right? So it's easy to see when somebody goes up in their weight because their color changes. And it's so awesome to see these women getting stronger. And not only that, making that individual choice of saying, you know what? I can go heavier because I'm getting stronger in picking those higher weights. And again, it goes back to form first. And I want to, really hound that in because, again, it's not about how big your weights are. It's about the form. But it's so cool to see these women getting stronger and still maintaining their form and using higher weights. Another question I get is, how many days a week should I be training certain muscle groups? So they mean like, should I be training my upper body 2 days a week or my lower body 2 days a week? Like, how do I do that? Again, it depends on how often you exercise. If you're working out 3 days a week, I don't see why you can't get more bang for your buck and work your total body, okay? And so let's say you're working out more days a week. So for me, I work out 6 days a week. I didn't always start with that. I started with 3 days a week, okay? But it's my profession. I'm an instructor. I'm a trainer. Have my own online business. So I work out 6 days a week. Anyway, 1 day a week, 4 days a week, I usually do full body exercises, okay? So 4 days a week, I'm doing total body exercises. 1 day a week, I do mostly cardio just because that's what I teach that day. It's 3 classes and they're basically all cardiovascular type exercises. And then 1 day a week, again, I'm teaching this day is a spin class, and then it's followed by a Pilates class. So again, let's say you are working 3 days, they're working out 3 days a week. I think you are going to see the best results when you're doing full body workouts, then incorporate strength and also some sort of cardio. So like, let's say if you're going to a class and they're all strength training classes, okay? That's the time you can make it to, blah, blah, blah. I would recommend getting on the treadmill or whatever machine that you like, or if you're working outside or whatever, go for a walk or a slight jog or the Stairmaster or whatever. So you're incorporating both if that class doesn't have cardio. So go on a machine or do something at home where you're going to increase that cardiovascular level and then do your strength training. And I want to say that these recommendations, this is based on my opinion, my training, but obviously talk with your doctor before you start any type of program. And you know your body more than anybody else. Listen to your body as well and, talk to your doctor. Okay, so now I want to debunk the myth that you will get bulky just by strength training. Ladies, get ready. Okay, so coming from myself, who I'm a woman the last time I checked, and someone who works out 6 days a week, and I do a lot of strength training, and I have slowly increased the amount I lift throughout the years, I am not bulky. Okay. So to bulk up, you need to do a number of things. So just like it takes time to lose weight, it also takes time to get quote unquote bulky. And it depends on your nutrition. So if you are eating an excess of food for an extended period of time, as well as lifting extremely heavy for a long period of time, you might get bulky. And you also don't do much cardio type exercises when you are bulky. So you're not going to see somebody who is powerlifting on the treadmill, really. Okay. And I'm kind of generalizing things here. But for power lifters, Their sole goal is to lift heavy and, have a large amount of, what is the word I'm looking for? I guess, a big mass, okay, to lift those heavy things, okay? And they tend not to look very toned, okay? They're very big and this is coming off kind of bad. I don't mean it in a bad way at all. It's just that they have different goals. They're competing. They want to be super, super strong. And they are lifting very heavy weight for a low number of reps, okay? And they're strong as hell, okay? They can probably lift cars, right? But they're not the type of people that usually have, the six pack on the beach or what have you. They're extremely strong, but not necessarily toned, okay? I'm trying to drill it in your brain that it's unlikely, very unlikely that you will get bulky unless you're eating an excess of calories and lifting extremely heavy and not doing much cardiovascular exercises. So I also want to share generally why people don't lift weights, okay? I was one of those people. I understand. You're intimidated by them. Okay. But just like riding a bike, you need to be shown and instructed exactly how to do the exercise. So that's why we recommend getting in some type of program, okay, or having an instructor or personal trainer that will show you how. Because think about when you were a kid, you have these expectations when you get on a bike. Oh my gosh, I'm going to ride it right away. And then you fall. Okay, it is like a punch to your gut. You're like, oh, well, I thought I just get on a bike and I ride it. But no, it takes practice. It takes training. You have to figure out what height of that seat is best for you and all the things. Okay, so that's generally why people don't lift, is because they're intimidated. But get your feet wet, okay? Just dip your toe in and then experiment. Try getting some dumbbells and try practicing at home before you go into the gym. It's these baby steps. And I actually heard I'm reading a book. It's called Chasing the Bright Side. It's amazing. And she says, it's by Jess Ekstrom, and she says, baby steps are still steps. And I'm like, oh my gosh, sometimes we are doing these things and we feel like we're not gaining any traction, but those baby steps add up and you have to start somewhere. And soon enough, it turns into a light jog. Okay. And then you start to run and then you're walking without any help. No hands are reaching out for you to grab you anymore. So baby steps are still steps. Another reason, I just debunked for you, is people are afraid of getting quote unquote bulky. And people just enjoy cardio. Look, I get it. Like I said, I was a cardio queen. I loved doing cardio. Experiment with other things. It might be a different instructor. It might be their music. It might be the program. It might be you're lifting too heavy before you figure out what actually works for you. And the last one I can think of, I'm sure there's other reasons, but why people don't lift is because they're afraid of weighing more. And muscle weighs more than fat, but some people are so afraid, just like getting, bulky, they're afraid of the number on the scale. They're afraid of it increasing. And I'm going to be straight up with you. When I was training for the marathon, I was about 10 pounds heavier than I am now. And I was training much longer. What changed? My nutrition. And I am lifting or strength training more than I was when I was training for the marathon. And I weigh less. Like I said, I weigh about 10 pounds less. And I like my physique so much better now because I feel stronger. And it's funny because my husband, oh my gosh, so we've been together since we were in high school. I was 16, he was 17. I'm 31, he's 32. And he's seen me like through it all. I never played sports in high school or anything like that. And I was very weak. And we have moved so many times. And there have been plenty of times where like, oh, well, can you help me with this couch? Can you help just like move it a little bit? And I would help him and then immediately drop the couch or that heavy dresser because I was so weak. And it wasn't too long ago, we were moving something. I was helping him move something in the garage or I don't know. And he was like, damn. He's like, I remember when you couldn't lift anything. And I was like, yeah, I've come a long way. And now I'm like, oh, how much can I lift? Like, it's almost like I compete with myself. So in my opinion, I think you should be doing both cardio and strength training exercises. And if I had to, like, if I was short on time, and somebody said you have to choose between strength training over cardio, what would you do this day? Okay, well, I would incorporate both if I could. So I'm trying to get around this kind of question. I would do like short bursts of cardio, whether it was like 30-second squat jumps, and then I would go into squats with weights, okay? And I would continue on that. But if they said, nope, you can't do those short bursts of cardio, what I would do is I would choose the strength training because that's where I feel the strongest and that's where I feel I get the most results. And that is how my metabolism has become more efficient than when I was exercising much longer when I was training for the marathon. Okay, so I would choose strength training. I hope this helped you. I hope that my information helped debunk the myth of getting bulky. And I just wanted to share things maybe like layman's terms. You know, I'm not privy to all these analogies or things like that. And like I said, it is the Friday before Christmas. It is actually 8:30 when I am recording these. So don't expect me to, I don't know, be good with words right now. Anyway, I hope this helped you. And if it did, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and iTunes. You cannot leave a review on Spotify, unfortunately, but there have been several people that have told me that they've used their significant others' Apple phone and left a review or created an iTunes account just to leave a review. I'm like, those are my ride or dies. Anyway, I hope you are doing well. I hope you have a special holiday and really hug the ones that you get to see. And hopefully this was a year where you learned a lot and build strength, both physically and mentally. Remember, you got this. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you love this episode, make sure you are subscribed so you know when more episodes come available. My goal is to inspire others to become their vision, and one way to get the word out is with reviews. I would really appreciate it if you left an honest review on iTunes, and it would mean so much to me. Thanks again, and remember to go after the life you want. Bye, guys.